Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna have to watch this one at 2 times speed, or not 2 times speed, but like I don't know, we'll turn it up to like 1.5 or something because this guy's voice is very obnoxious. Okay, and this is a 12-minute long video, and I pause a lot to go against arguments, so we gotta keep it quick for the sake of my own psyche. This is a video by Mr. Obvious. He is a Nazi. He's like a full-on Nazi. As a matter of fact, do you wanna? Let's go ahead and find his rational wiki. I always love to look up the rational wiki of people that I look into. Let's see. Fashtag or Bash the Hash was an attempt at right-wing troll campaigns. Campaign was intended to dupe the media into believing the hashtag was factional. Failure. Let's see. Is Mr. Obvious linked here? Interesting. I'm pretty sure he's a Nazi. Ha! There's my video right there on him. Let's see. Well, that's a lot of Nazi shit. Alrighty, let's get in this dude's video. Dude's a fascist. If we go to his channel, you can see the kind of content that he makes. I think he did a video where he was like whining about the that one like reverse slavery movie. Kamala Harris. Oh look, he even does the he's even doing the rip-off the quartering thumbnails. You guys know the one where it's like a little image and then like the black background, then like white and yellow or white and red, where he's like copying the quartering thumbnails. No Bullshit does the same thing. Nice. Kamala Harris gets trolled. Hackers hijack mykamala.org with hilarious pro-Trump shit. CNN claims the media bashes Joe Biden, but not Trump. CNN gets destroyed by facts and logic. Woke teachers discuss how to brainwash children in virtual classes and hide it from parents. NASA gets slammed by the internet for going woke. Will remove offensive names like black hole. A white man gets swatted by neighbor for playing Crash Bandicoot. Cops execute him. George Floyd body cam footage leaked. Video shows it was not murder. Cops will be acquitted. Okay, yes, this guy's a Nazi. This guy's probably some kind of fasci. Alright. Here we go, boys. Prepare yourselves.
You know, it's often been said that right-wing males, conservative males, are stronger, fitter, and more good-looking than left-wing males, who tend to be weak, physically unfit, and not as attractive. But what if I told you that science...
Amazing. Amazing. He's just showing memes on screen. So, from my understanding of this body of work, of this body of research, from my understanding, the current ideas from every study that I've seen that's tried to like correlate the fitness and the attractiveness of like progressive people to conservative people that has been done has come to the conclusion that the left has a higher quantity of people who are maybe divergent from societal beauty standards, because the left is generally more accepting of people who don't fit into very rigid categories of what it is to be attractive, right? But at the same time, the findings have shown that conservatives expect modesty and for you to cover up. Conservative women are expected not to dress very slutty, I guess you could say. So it kind of balances out more or less. That's been the consensus of basically every study that I've found. Left-wing women generally like to be super fucking, slutty. They like to have the boobies out and everything, which is pretty hot. I mean, it's pretty undeniable. It's pretty fucking hot. As a matter of fact, since we're only using anecdote in this video so far, let's go ahead and show some hot female lefties, or even just some hot lefties in general, as a matter of fact. Here's a good start. Let's see. Where's that one popular picture? This one? Let's get it nice and in frame there for you guys to see it. Yeah, okay. All right. No, but hey, clearly ugly. He's a lefty. He must be ugly. All right, cool. Let's bring up another lefty. Let's get a woman now. Very, very clearly not attractive here, because she, leftist women are not attractive. This is Ashby Coffin, but clear, not attractive at all. Not attractive at all. Oh, let's bring up another one. Not attractive at all. Oof. Definitely doesn't literally fit every single expected societal standard for what beauty is to come from women. Oof. What else? I got one. Oh, I got a real stud for you guys here. I got a real stud for you guys right here. Look at this fucking dude. Holy shit. Tell me you don't rub one out to this dude every fucking day, because I know I do. This guy's hot as fuck. Honestly. What a king. What an actual fucking Adonis. Anyway. I think it's pretty obvious to say that the assertion that your political views make you less or more attractive is pretty ridiculous. I don't even know how you would go about rationalizing that. The argument or the line of argumentation you would have to go through would be okay, so are people of a certain look or level of attractiveness attracted or attracted to a particular political ideology? That could be a line of argumentation. And if you ended up going down that line of argumentation or figured out a way to do an actual study to where you could actually gauge what it is to be attractive, which is extremely subjective, and figured out somehow through some fucking means we're able to quantify how many attractive people there are on the left compared to the right, and found that the left had more hot people or the right had more hot people, it wouldn't fucking matter. How hot the people are within a certain political movement doesn't contribute to whether or not that political movement is correct or not. Xander Hall got some A+ Aryan men right here, the best specimens of the one true master race. Ah, yes, let's see. Hell yeah, brother. This is the face of the right here. This is the face of the right. Hell yeah, look at these fucking Aryan, these Aryan alpha male, just fucking specimens. Holy shit. No, but I mean, there is a reason why the right is overwhelmingly associated with the fat, 4chan, neckbeard, greasy, basement dwelling mouth breather that yells at their mom, "Woo! More tendies!" Up from downstairs, from the basement at his mom, so she can throw another fucking plastic bag of tendies down into the basement for her son. There's a reason why that's the association that's generally made when you think about the right, especially the online right. Yeah, don't knock the tendies. Trust me, I'm not knocking the tendies. Okay, I'm not knocking the tendies at all. Okay.
Has officially proven this true. A study found that more attractive men are not only more likely to be stronger, they're more likely to be attractive than weak soy boy liberals. Hello, everyone.
Wait, a study? So for one, this has been proven scientifically. A study found this. Is he going to cite the study? Also, this guy sounds like a soy boy liberal. Wait, can we talk about how, does he cite anything? He does not cite anything. Ooh, he has a BitChute. Oh, fuck. Oh, let's see what he does on Gab. Let's look at his Gab. I'm so fucking sick of censorship. This may become my main social media account if things continue at the rate they're going. Hell yeah! Oh, you love to see it. Hey, listen. He's so full of shit on the so-called Jewish question. Jordan Peterson. Oh, cool. So he's a JQer. Minority Report. People are being arrested for thought crimes before committing any actual crime. Dystopia now. There could have been 3 more mass shootings if these men weren't stopped, authorities say. And then a CNN article from, I guess, these soy boys are literally retarded. There's no denying what 4chan and 8chan are. Fuck this rich-ass banker. I wish he went homeless. What I learned from losing 200 million. This effectively makes Twitter fucking pointless for conversations, so nothing new. Twitter launches the hide replies feature for hopes of civilizing conversations. When they say youths in code for African American, when they say youths, it's code for African American / minorities. 17 kids assault 45-year-old man at Philadelphia public pool. So like talking about how bad black people are. Yep, this dude's going senile. Biden says if Trump challenges his mental state, he'll challenge him to a push-up contest. This app is the work of God. I love it. Controversial deepfake ad deep nude shuts down hours after, so he likes deepfakes. Who wants to guess this Nazi group are actually Democrats or Antifa, creating more false narratives? White supremacists interrupt Pride celebration in Detroit. Stay in your shithole state, fucking Democrats. Californians leave the beach for bigger houses in Texas. I don't plan on doing any of that. Yeah, this guy's a Nazi. Not really surprising. Okay, well, that's our confirmation we need. Eat some ass and become a real Chad? Yeah, maybe one day, okay? Not really. Oh, nice, he's citing Lauren Chen here, an actual Nazi.
Everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today, on the internet, we're here with Lauren Chen. Here she says on Twitter, attractive people are more likely to identify as conservatives. Is anyone really surprised? Have you seen the average soy boy? She continues,
John Doyle did this when I covered his last video, where he was calling the left a bunch of soy boys while looking like John Doyle. And this guy, I wish we could see a picture of this guy. Hold on. Mr. Obvious Face. Wait, is this what he looks like? No! Don't tell me this is what he looks like. Is this him? I think this is him. Is this actually him? It's what comes up when I look up Mr. Obvious Face. And this is how he this is his Patreon. Mr. Obvious is creating red pills, and then like the edited like dude from the Chad meme, like with the thing edited on. Oh no, this guy is 100% a fucking greasy soy boy in real life. Oh, the projection is insane. Do we have to get into Lauren Chen though? I don't feel like we have to. We could go to a Rational Wiki and see how she's like actively been advocating for the banning of gay marriage and whatnot. But I don't think that's necessary. Lauren Chen's like a devout open fascist. She's got, it's not like a secret or anything.
I wondered about this when seeing the Antifa mugshots at Mr. Andy No posts. But what's the cause?
Yes, Andy No as well, an open fascist.
Does being unattractive inherently make people more open to redistributive and collectivist thinking? Now, my thoughts on this are pretty simple. In this world, you have survival of the fittest, or at least that's how it's supposed to work. In nature, only the strong would survive and thrive, because I think that the difference between conservatives and liberals is whether or not you are strong or weak. When you're strong, when you're physically...
This is really stupid. Humans... Okay, maybe I'm not like a beta pussy cuck, but, listen, maybe I'm not a beta pussy cuck, but I think humans are stronger than nature, right? I think we're stronger than nature. We as humans are such big five heads from, millions of years of evolution. We've come to a point where we have fought against what is expected of nature, and we've learned to become stronger. We are the strongest species on this planet, not because we're big, not because we're like huge or strong, like especially physically strong or anything like that, but we're very smart. And we have adapted certain, evolved certain attributes that give us a one-up over everything else. Opposable thumbs is a big one. Bigger brains that are able to, be smart and create tools and whatnot. We are literally, yeah, and it is a fallacy. It's the naturalistic fallacy, right? The appeal to nature fallacy, right? Is that the one? Anyway. This is literally an actual fallacy. Yeah, you guys are right about that.
Fit. You don't need handouts, you don't need help, and you don't need anyone to guarantee you rights. You simply take those rights for yourself. However, when you look at liberals, what are they always saying?
Aren't these the kind of guys that get fucking pissed about Antifa? Isn't that what, like, BLM and Antifa are doing? Like, black people are being, like, are getting, like, fucked up by the police and whatnot? and so they're like protesting and fighting for the right not to get the shit beaten out of them by cops. Aren't you against that? I mean, also, that's stupid as fuck, okay? Pragmatically speaking, the reason why you live under a particular government is because you do things like pay taxes, work and contribute to the society you live in, and in return, the government is supposed to protect you and take care of you to a certain degree, right? So, for example, the government has a military that tries its best to keep the country safe from being invaded and you being killed or whatnot. On top of that, the government is supposed to take care of you once you reach a point where where you're no longer old enough to take care of yourself anymore. Once you get to a certain age where you can't, work or anything like that, the government should and does, for the most part, take care of you. You can't work anymore. You're too old. You contributed to society. Now you're able to retire. That's how it works. It's not handouts. That's the payback for living underneath the government. You contribute in the form of taxes and work. And the government's supposed to pay you back in protection and taking care of you and making sure you can survive once you get too old to take care of yourself. And hey, listen, if you think it's some pussy soy boy shit to take care of the elderly, like if you think, oh, we should do what they do in nature and let the elderly die, then guess what? You're a fucking pussy. Because guess what? The most macho badass society or civilization of all time, the fucking Spartans, fucking worshipped the elderly. If you were like an elderly person in Sparta, people would literally do anything for you. Because if you're like an elderly man, you've survived to the point where where you're an old man, people are like, we got a badass over here, because you survived to that point. This is a very well-known historical fact, that the Spartans respected the ever-living fuck out of old people, and old people were like elderly people in Spartan society were considered like upper class, like higher citizens. That and women, they had a lot of respect for women, and the argument they would make. There was actually a story where like Leonidas and his queen went to like a neighboring like city, state, or town, and they noticed like how women were treated like much like lower than men in this particular town, and Leonidas was like, why do you treat your women like this? And the guy, and like the leader of this other town was like, this is just how they've always been treated. What, you treat them differently? And the king of Sparta, Leonidas, was like, yes, in Sparta, women are treated equal to men, because without women, there would be no Spartan men. There would be no Spartan soldiers. This is like a very well-established, well-known historical fact. The Spartans were like the most macho society in the world, like in history, and they fucking respected women and saw them as equal, and they took care of elderly people and those that weren't able to get by. Also, by the way, it's actually a myth that they threw they didn't actually throw deformed babies off of cliffs or into pits or anything like that. That's actually a myth. But regardless, yeah, no, the Spartans. I would not say the Spartans were soy boys, and yet a lot of their ideals are broadly pretty similar to that of the left.
Please, I need the government to give me money. Universal basic income. Please, I need healthcare for free. They're always asking for handouts and for help. There's no self-reliance. And we know that right-wing ideology is all about self-reliance. Now, I want to show you the study, and I'm going to show you more
Self-reliance from the guy whose entire YouTube channel is built on lying about, or whining and lying about how the SJWs are ruining the world.
articles, more data proving that conservative men are not only stronger and fitter, but more attractive than left-wing males. But before we get into this, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications for more content. And if you like this video, please consider giving it a share. Now, we're going to talk about this study, and I promise you it's going to be hilarious. Here, Rob Henderson says, quote, more attractive individuals are more likely to identify as conservative and Republican than less physically attractive citizens. Now, these results are consistent across all datasets and persistent even when controlling for socioeconomic status and demographics. In other words, it doesn't matter if you're poor, it doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're white, it doesn't matter if you're black. If you identify as a conservative male, you are more likely to be physically attractive. You're damn right. Now, for those of you wondering if this is a legitimate study from a credible school, make no worry. This is. It's very credible. It's very official. It's from the Cambridge University Press. As far as I know, Cambridge is a established name.
All right. Let's check it out. Let's see. Physical attractiveness is an important social factor in our daily interactions. Scholars in social psychology provide evidence that attractiveness stereotypes and the halo effect. Let's see, what's the halo effect? Tendency for an impression created in one area to influence opinion in another area are prominent in affecting the traits we attribute to others. However, the interest in attractiveness has not directly filtered down to questions of political behavior beyond candidates and elites. Utilizing measures of attractiveness across multiple surveys, we examine the relationship between attractiveness and political beliefs. Controlling for socioeconomic status, we find that more attractive individuals are more likely to report higher levels of political efficacy, identify as conservative, and identify as Republican. These findings suggest an additional mechanism for political socialization that has further implications for understanding how the body intertwines with the nature of politics. So they reference this. Does it have like any? Is there anything else like other than correspondence? Corresponding author. Oh, we can't do that. 2017. Okay. All right. If the study says it, the study says it.
It's respectable, and this study is
Well,
legitimate.
so the problem is, and I know this is like the elephant in the room, what it is to be attractive is pretty subjective, but I'm going to assume the standards of attractiveness they were going by were physical fitness. Is there an argument to make that people who are physically fit are more likely to be conservative or have like more like Republican-leaning beliefs or whatever? Yeah, probably. The right isn't. The left is way more accepting of people with like different body types than what is like generally expected than the right is. So if you are somebody who isn't like traditionally attractive, you're way more likely to be on the left, right? Because that's probably where you're going to be accepted, and except for like the broad cases of like your 4chan trolls, right? And obviously a study like this, which probably it was a survey, right? They did a survey. This wasn't like a massive like syndicated meta-analysis of data and studies. It's one study that from a survey came to the conclusion that from their control group that could have been as small as 100 people or as big as 10,000, found that most of the people who were like fit were conservative, and most of the people who were not fit were like progressive. Also, they literally didn't show anything in regards to like their process, how big their control groups were, anything like that. Maybe he'll show it. Maybe he has access to more than I do. Who knows? Also, if we go even further, the fact that like you're more likely to be attractive if you're conservative, for one, doesn't debunk the fact that this guy sounds and probably looks, from what we've seen, like like literally the definition of a soy boy. And on top of that, your attractiveness does not gauge whether you're right or wrong on a particular topic. I mean, like, if that was how the world worked, then, oof, the world would be a very different place.
The title of this paper is Effects of Physical Attractiveness on Political Beliefs. Now, they go on to talk about how physical attractiveness plays an important social role in our daily lives. They're providing evidence that attractiveness stereotypes cause a halo effect. What that means is that if you're attractive, people are more likely to see you as good and having good intentions. That's why whenever there's like a criminal who's really good looking, people are so quick to forgive them. They become famous online because of their good looks. We all remember the felon who women were, gushing over, even though he was a convicted murderer. And, he got a job as a supermodel when he got out of jail. Being good looking is truly the cheat code to life. But who knew that simply being a conservative meant that you were far more likely to be attractive? In short, what they say is that we find...
Wait. That's backwards. Hold on. Hold on. We gotta go over a few memes here really quick. So for one, this felon dude, if you guys know who this guy is, basically back when I was a reactionary, this dude was what everybody, all like the incel types, whenever I would hang out on incel forums, would point to as like, women just care about looks. They would date a fucking serial killer if he looked good, So like this is usually the person that this is usually the person that a lot of right-wing like incel types. As a matter of fact, the whole incel movement. Oh, here's a document. Abstract: the effects of physical attractiveness on So this basically goes into how your body type and how you are treated by society for it can affect your political views, right? So if you're somebody who's very attractive and I mean, wait, he even said this earlier, that being attractive is like a cheat code. Oh my god, he's literally destroying the whole argument of conservatism, like what it is to be conservative. Oh, that's actually hilarious. So, for one, remember when earlier he said being attractive is like a cheat code? That's more or less like a simplification of what they get into in this study, right? If you're attractive, you're probably treated a lot better in society, and those who are treated a lot better are more likely to, you know, pretty privilege, right? Are more likely to get by like easier in life when it comes to social situations, right? Even at the beginning here, they talk about how political candidates who are attractive are more likely to be more politically efficacious, as well as more likely to get elected because people are more likely to like vote for the more attractive person. But on top of that, this is the guy who says that conservatism is all about is all about like being self-sufficient and taking care of yourself, but admits that like if it is true that conservatives are more likely to be attractive, they're playing on easy mode. The reason why they're conservative is because they get a free ride because they're on easy mode because they're more attractive, and that's why they don't give a fuck about making the world a better place, because they're playing on fucking baby bitch easy mode. Ah. Nice. Continue. Also, this guy is not attractive. Like the dude has like the definition of a soy boy voice, and if that picture was really him, he looks like a fucking greasy redneck.
Code to life. But who knew that simply being a conservative meant that you were far more likely to be attractive? You know, in short, what they say is that we find that more attractive individuals identify as conservative and identify as Republican. They say that these findings suggest an additional mechanism for political socialization that has further implications for understanding how the body intertwines with the social nature of politics. Now, believe it or not, I'm actually somewhat of an expert in human psychology, as it is a major area of interest for me. It's a huge hobby. You know, I've read a lot of studies.
I wouldn't trust this dude. I'm being like an expert on anything other than like how many Jews there are in our government.
I've read a lot of books. I've done research. While I'm not a scientist, I'm definitely knowledgeable. And my personal theory is that liberals and left-wingers, they just tend to be weak. Now, what do you see the left wing always cry for? Equality. Well, you don't see the right-wingers complaining about that. That's because they...
Well, because the right hates brown people and minorities. They want non-equality. They want hierarchy. They want like black people to be enslaved. They want Jewish people, generally they want Jewish people to all be in Israel so they can have their like Christian fucking like pagan, or not pagan, what's it called? Apocalypse fantasy fulfilled, because the Israelites have to have their homeland for the rapture to happen. They want all women to be barefoot and pregnant in the fucking kitchen, not allowed to pursue anything that they want to do. Well, the left actually cares about making the world a better place and progressing things, and the right doesn't. That's why the left cares about equality.
They make their own equality. They don't ask for rights. They take...
Well, they don't ask for rights, they take them? Yeah, they do take rights. They do love taking rights from people. You're not wrong.
Them. Meanwhile, liberals and left-wingers ask for the government to do everything. Conservatives want smaller government. Liberals want bigger government. Liberals want...
Like I said before, like, no, this isn't true. Like, when you, like, pragmatically speaking, when you live under a government, this is the agreement that you come to when you live underneath the government of a country, basically. That's how it works. You work, you pay taxes, then you get older, or if you get hurt, that government takes care of you. And while you're working and while you're existing, the government runs the military, and the military protects your state or your country or whatever from outside agitators who may try to harm you or drastically harm your way of life. That's how it works. That is like the agreement that we in modern society have come to.
Enforced equality. Conservatives just want equal opportunity. There's a pattern there.
Forced equality? Wait, no. Conservatives don't want equal opportunity. This guy claims to have read a lot of studies. I'm pretty sure if he'd actually done any research, you would find that throughout history, conservatives have pretty much always advocated for hierarchy. They want the powerful to be in charge and the weak to be crushed. And maybe that's the kind of world he wants to live in, but by the sound of this guy's voice, he's pretty weak. So he would probably be crushed as well. I don't know, I feel like these guys just want to live in a world where they're like, they believe that if we lived in like this conservative like 1950s like La La Land that they all like pine over and jack off to every night, then they would be like these top dog alpha males. But most of them are like fucking beta as fuck. This dude sounds beta as fuck. He probably looks beta as fuck. I don't even know if that picture is him. He sounds weak as fuck. Now, is that me impugning his arguments? Of course not. No. The attractiveness of somebody that I'm responding to, or anybody in a political space, does not contribute to whether or not their political views are right or wrong. But it is hypocritical that he is going after the left for not being good-looking enough, or not being attractive or fit enough, while also sounding and looking how he does. It is a bit funny. It is amusing to me.
And I believe it points to a common psychological profile and a genetic profile. Now, what could be a better example of all of this than the famous Vice article, Gym Bros More Likely to Be Right-Wing A-Holes, Science Confirms. No time to worry about socioeconomic inequality when you've got to finish your reps, brah. Now, this article aged like milk, because it really exposes the mindset of your average left-wing soy boy cuck. They're literally making fun of right-wingers and conservatives for being sexy, for working out, and for being gym bros. Do you even lift? Because, your average liberal...
I promise you this guy doesn't lift. I promise you. I'm pretty sure this study, or this article, this is like an opinion piece. Imagine to make your argument, you have to find a fucking Vice article written back in 2017. How old is this video? Hold on. How old is it? So it's literally only 3 days old. Okay. So he had to go back to a Vice article, a Vice opinion piece from 2017. So gym bros are more likely to be right-wing assholes. Science confirms. So let's say you are a gym bro who just wants to lift. Like the I just want to grill meme? I just want to lift! So let's say you're like a gym bro that just wants to lift, okay? You probably don't give a fuck about politics, okay? You're probably a bit misogynistic because you go around, you're being like, you're doing the Chad thing. The Chad, you're doing the Chad thing, okay? Which I respect. I respect the Chad lifestyle. I do. It's a little misogynistic, but hey, if you want to be a Chad, I guess. Do what you want. But if you're just going out being a Chad, doing what Chads do, and you don't really care much about politics, you're more likely to fall into some conservative beliefs. It is pretty well known that those who know a lot about what's going on in this world, who care about like sociological phenomenon and things like that happening in our society, tend to be more left-leaning. The more knowledgeable you are about politics, the more likely you are to be left-leaning. That's what's been confirmed very precisely. But if you're just some fucking if you just want to grill, you just want to lift, or you just want to do your thing, you're probably more likely to be conservative because you want to avoid politics. Hey, Vermin. Yeah, I'm still live. We Gucci. My stream is still being unlisted by YouTube. I've got about 550 viewers right now. My stream is still getting cucked by YouTube. They aren't listing it, just like they did to Vosh and me back in April or whatever. It's really fucking upsetting, but at least I'm getting around 600 viewers, so that's nice. Anyway, let's continue.
Your average left-wing male, he doesn't work out, he's not a gym bro, he's not strong, he's probably just a little baby sissy. That's just how it is,
Oof, projection right there. Oof. Also, nobody right now is a fucking jacked Chad at the moment, because nobody can go to the fucking gym because of Corona. And trust me, I'm pissed about that, because I've been wanting to go to the gym again for a while now, but everything's closed because of Corona. Or you have to wear a mask while you do it. And while it is possible to run and do exercise in a mask, it also sounds fucking miserable. And I don't really plan on doing that. Also, I'm pretty sure no gyms out here in California are going to be open. Also, ironically, all the gym equipment is sold out online. Yeah, I heard you guys were looking for gym equipment and they were all sold out. Yeah, it fucking sucks. Also, even if they weren't sold out, I probably wouldn't be able to afford it. It's holy shit, gym equipment is expensive as fuck.
If I had to say, I would say that conservatives are tops and liberals are bottoms. So the science confirms.
Liberals are tops and conservatives are bottoms? Wouldn't gay people who are aren't bears a thing? Is there wasn't it scientifically proven that left-wing people have better sex? Wait, hold on, chat. Wasn't it confirmed, scientifically? I swear I remember hearing this, that left-wing people have better and more sex than conservatives do? So hold on. Wait, this actually goes around again. So conservatives may have a higher likelihood statistically of being attractive than the left, but left-wing people have more and better sex. Hold on, I think this is actually... Hold on, let me check. I think this is proven. Oh shit, Billy Drighill, thanks. This is the first thing that came up. Sex in a pandemic. For liberals, more Netflix and less chill. Holy shit, apparently the pandemic is contributing to less sex being had. Because liberals like to go out and be like very, what's it called? Apparently because liberals are known for being very, what's the word for it? Promiscuous. Like they like to go out and have like a lot of partners. They like to have a lot of sex. During the pandemic, everyone's stuck inside, and so now liberals are having less sex because they're stuck inside because of the pandemic. Okay, that's to be expected.
That right-wing men are stronger. The article goes on to say that new research from Brunel University finds that physically strong men who regularly go to the gym are more likely to be right-wing and support social and economic inequality than weaker men. That explains a lot. Like Trump's weird grab-and-yank power handshake, he's just trying to assert supremacy over his fellow uncaring a-holes. Now, Vice is a far-left media rag. Of course, they're going to paint this in the most negative light possible, but what are they really saying? They're saying that right-wing males are just better. They're just better.
They're just better. Ah, yes. They're just better. Being more fit and not giving a fuck about the world being a better place means you're better. I mean, if that's basically where you draw the line as to what makes a person a good person or like being better, I mean, I guess if that's your standard, then sure. But the way you've been projecting this entire video tells me you probably wouldn't even meet your own standard. It explains that their oxygen isn't going to their brains. Nice meme.
And, you know, I think the real reason that a lot of these weak left-wing liberal types complain is because they're in... Look, I want to be careful with the words I use, but they're weak. And they know they're weak. They know that on their own, they could never accomplish anything. Why do you think that left-wingers go out into the street in large groups, put on Facebook...
Ah, yes. The left is so weak. That's why they go out into the street and face tear gas and fucking firing squads of rubber bullets and gas canisters from the cops. Imagine saying the left is weak and then showing a bunch of leftist Antifa protesters that are literally going out and fighting armed fucking police officers in the street. If anything, they're fucking braver. Ah, yes. Look at these weak people dressed in fucking like black and going out to fucking fight the cops and fight for their rights. That's literally what they're doing. They're literally fighting the police. Ah, yes. Very good argument. Hold on, let me show you some weak people. You know, hold on. We can go back to the Spartans argument that I used earlier. Look at these fucking beta males. Can we show you? I'm going to show you guys some fucking... Look at these betas. They feel like they need to go out and fight the Persians to defend their homeland. Like, honestly, how fucking weak can you get? They feel the need to go out in groups and fight in groups because they can't do it. Look how fucking beta weak can you get? The Spartans were truly betas when you really think about it. Look, they're wearing uniforms and everything, just like Antifa does. What a fucking dumbass.
masks because they're cowards and then commit crimes, riot, and loot. It's because alone they cannot do anything. How many videos have we seen of these soy boy Antifa members going out picking fights with conservatives and then getting their butts kicked? We've seen it time and time again. They don't know how to fight.
Wait, aren't you guys the same people that claim that like Antifa people are constantly beating up conservatives in the street? Remember when Richard Spencer got fucking decked? Like, oh god, I remember the fucking sound of his fucking jaw crunching when that fucking Antifa super soldier just fucking nailed his fucking ass. Also, this guy's a Nazi. You guys do know this is a Nazi. I've seen this video where this comes from before. This guy's a Nazi, so this guy's celebrating a Nazi punching a dude. So that's nice. Also, hold on. Here, this is literally just like he's just doing anecdotal data now, anecdotal images now, so I'll do my own. Here. If we're just showing images of protests and stuff like that, I mean, we can just like... Where's that Antifa super soldier guy? Oh yeah, you guys remember this dude? This dude looks like a fucking Spartan from Halo. Master Chief, is that you? Who remembers that? This isn't the same guy I was thinking of. This is a different guy. But who remembers that big fucking like 8-foot tall Antifa super soldier that was staring down those cops at that one BLM protest? Who remembers that? I mean, if we're just using like at this point in the video, we're just using images and anecdotes. So I might as well do the same. You know? I don't know. I just find it absolutely hysterical how these people feel the impetus to now scurry away from actually arguing the ideas behind these things and retreating to, well, the people on the right are more likely to be attractive. I don't know. It just seems funny to me. It just seems funny to me.
They're not physically fit, and they're lame. Girls do not like these liberal soy boys. They will never date them. They always get put in the friend zone. But conservative males, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. So different people...
Wait, are we going to deny that being in, like, inceldom, the entire incel movement, is also anyone who unironically says soy boy in 2020 is probably projecting a little bit. Yeah, it's a pretty hard cope. This video is a pretty hard cope. But what I find funnier is the fact that... women are way more likely to be liberal themselves or more progressive. This has been very much established, like scientifically. I don't think even this guy would argue this. Women are way more likely to be progressive than men are, just generally, just statistically, broadly speaking, right? So that doesn't really make any sense. Also, the entire incel movement is insanely right-wing. All the incels are right-wing. When I was like incel light, when I was like a shitty conservative teenager, you know, because I always talked about how women were terrible and you know, Trump is great, blah, blah, blah. No women were fucking attracted to me for that. But then I became a leftist, and maybe it's part of the fact I'm a public figure now. Now women are constantly after me. I have a hot as fuck girlfriend, and like I constantly have like women that like pursue me. Like, I don't know. If we're using anecdotal examples here, I mean, I can use my own, right? Like, I don't know. It just seems like being a leftist tends to correlate with getting more women. It's because you're a twink? I don't think I'm a twink. I'm like fucking 6 foot tall, 256 pounds, 5% body fat. Constantly lol. Lonnie, I don't show you all the DMs that I get, okay? If you want, I can show you all the DMs I get from women that like message me and shit like that. It's pretty common. Ethlab is back. Welcome back, Ethlab. Fuck you for breaking that combo, but I love you, buddy.
People have different theories. Why is it that conservative males are more likely to be strong and attractive? Well, I'm going to read you a few comments. Let's find out what the people think. Bo on Twitter says, "To anyone with eyes, this is obvious. Republicans are a party of people who feel they alone control their own destiny." See, just like he said, self-reliance. This feeling stemming from internal confidence in oneself.
So we're reading tweets now? Wait, let's see. Does he make any other arguments? Here we go.
Conservatives and liberals talk to minorities, and what they found was liberals talk down to minorities. They use small words. It's almost like liberals think that minorities are stupid. On the other hand...
Wait, is this an unironic, like, Okay, so we have an actual... This isn't a Julie, you fucking idiot. Wait, so is this an actual... So we're actually getting, like, the left or the real racist now? So, alright. Infantilization of particular minority groups is a bad thing that I sometimes see among the left. You ever see... I see this a lot with, like, autistic people. I've seen this becoming, like, a huge trend. Like, the same people who claim, saying retard is ableist will then go on to say things like autistic people are, like, mentally children or are incapable of functioning as, like, normal adults, right? You do see that a lot, right? That is a tendency that you have to be careful for if you're on the left. You don't want to infantilize, like, people with mental disabilities or, like, people who have, like, mental conditions or who are autistic and whatnot. And that is a tendency for liberals to do. Leftists generally don't do this, but liberals do tend to engage in infantilization of particular minority groups in the world, right? However, it's probably not for race. It's not because they're racist. It's usually because they recognize that due to many socioeconomic factors, particularly like black people, for example, are more likely to be like in a worse place when it comes to education, and so they think, oh, I'm going to talk to black people like they're idiots. Because, they have less access to education, and yeah, that's pretty infantilizing and pretty fucked up. But yeah, reprobate over the R slur. Reprobate is way better than the R slur. That is true. That is actually pretty true.
Conservative people talk to minorities like they talk to everyone. They don't dumb down their language. They understand that minorities are just as smart as everyone else. Now, left-wingers and the Democratic Party will claim that they don't actually believe that minorities are dumb, but look what happens when the mask slips off.
We have this. I'm pretty sure this dude's like a race realist, isn't he? He definitely believes in the JQ. We saw his Gab account. I guess maybe he's like dog whistling or whatever, or hiding it for YouTube because he wants to get banned. This dude's literally, I'm pretty sure, a fucking JQer. I don't think he sees minorities as being just as smart as everybody else. I mean, hasn't this guy I've literally seen a video where this guy is talking about black people and their IQ, like their low IQ.
This notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Nathan says, one of the main reasons someone becomes a leftist is that they feel
Okay, so he's just reading tweets now? He's just reading tweets now. Just tweets, and then the end of the video. Okay, that's what I expected. Oh, and then he shills his merch. Oh, nice, Deuce Volt, an actual Nazi dog whistle. Oh, Nazis love the Knights Templar. Remember that one dude who did like a big terrorist attack? I think it was somewhere in Europe, like Sweden or some Scandinavian country. This dude, he was part of the Knights Templar, did a big terrorist attack, and I know about this because back when I was like a reactionary, or not reactionary, but back when I was like getting into it, yeah, it was like Anders Breivik, yeah. These like Nazi terrorist types love the fucking Knights Templar because they like to kill Muslims and all that. Anyway, I'm gonna do my little like treatise at the end of this to sort of give my opinion on this. Anders Breivik, Anders Breivik, yeah, it was Norway, yeah. So statistically, why are you, if you are like on the left, why are you statistically more likely to be non-conventionally attractive than if you are on the right? Well, because if you're on the right and if you're attractive, you've probably lived your life in easy mode. Same reason why rich people are more likely to be on the right. You probably lived life in easy mode when it comes to social situations, and same goes for if you're rich. You've never experienced what it's like to suffer or be the underdog. And in that case, you're probably more likely to not really give a fuck about other people. You're more likely to be kind of an asshole. That's more or less how it works, right? If you're an asshole, you're more likely to be conservative. If you've had it pretty easy in life, you're more likely to be a conservative asshole because you don't really care about other people. As simple as that. The right doesn't care about other people. Is that a good thing? I mean, that's up to you. If you actually care about the world being a better place, then, I mean, probably not. It's as simple as that. The left wants the world to be a better place. The left wants as many people to be happy and prosperous as possible. They want the world to be an overall better, more prosperous place, and it's as simple as that. If that's not what you value, then you're probably going to be a conservative. And if that's the case, then debate it. Debate the ideas. That's more or less what I have to say about it. Anyway, don't forget, the incels are right-wing. They're the ones that bitch about the like black people, like the Tyrones and whatnot, taking their women. So I don't know if the argument that like the left is more or is less attractive really holds that much ground. But hey, whatever you say, buddy.